In the village of Aro, beauty was everything, and none was more beautiful than Shaka. Her skin, dark and smooth as rich earth, her eyes like stars, and her smile could melt even the coldest heart. She was the pride of the village, admired by women, some secretly jealous, and men who couldn't help but turn their heads when she passed. Shaka was married to Aber, a strong and proud man who loved her deeply, but had one dangerous flaw: his jealousy. While Aber was proud to have such a beautiful wife, he couldn't stand the way other men admired her. His heart burned with jealousy every time he saw someone notice her beauty. What should have been a blessing began to feel like a curse. As time passed, Aber's jealousy worsened. He constantly questioned Shaka about the men she spoke to, accusing her of flirting even when she was only being polite. Shaka, who loved Aber deeply and had been faithful to him, grew tired of defending herself. His baseless accusations began to tear at the bond they once shared. One day, a group of jealous village women spread a cruel rumor that Shaka was not as faithful as she appeared. The rumor caught like wildfire, reaching every ear in Aro. When Aber heard the whispers, his jealousy turned to rage. Without giving Shaka a chance to explain, he confronted her in their home. His eyes, once filled with love, now burned with anger. Shaka, shocked and hurt, tried to defend herself, but Aber refused to listen. In a fit of rage, he did something unforgivable. He grabbed a knife and slashed Shaka's mouth. Her scream echoed through the night as blood poured from her wound, forever marring her once beautiful face. He had done. Aber stepped back in horror, but it was too late. The damage was done. The next day, the village was abuzz with the news of the attack. Some of the women who had been jealous of Shaka's beauty felt a cruel satisfaction, believing she had been brought down to their level. Even some of the men, who had once admired her, no longer saw her as a threat to their own relationships. Shaka's life, once filled with admiration and pride, had turned into a nightmare. The pain of her disfigurement was unbearable, but even worse was the heartbreak. She had been faithful to Aber, and now, because of his jealousy and the lies of the village, her life was shattered. Everywhere she went, she could feel the judgmental stares and hear the cruel whispers behind her back. But deep inside her, where the pain and betrayal festered, something else began to grow, a dark, burning desire for revenge. Shaka knew she could no longer stay in the village. She needed to leave and find a way to regain her power. She decided to seek the help of the old witch, who lived deep in the dark forest, banished long ago for her dark magic. Under the cover of darkness, Shaka ventured into the forest. After a long and difficult journey, she found the witch's hut, hidden among the trees. The witch, expecting her, welcomed Shaka with a knowing gaze. "I see your pain," the witch said. "You seek revenge, don't you?" Shaka nodded, her heart full of anger and determination. "I want the power to make them suffer, to take back what they stole from me," she replied. The witch smiled, her crooked teeth gleaming. "Revenge comes with a price. Are you willing to pay it?" Without hesitation, Shaka answered, "I am." The witch prepared a dark potion, whispering ancient spells as the air grew heavy with magic. She handed the potion to Shaka, warning her, "Once you take this path, there is no turning back." Instantly, she felt a surge of power, a dark energy coursing through her veins. Her scars tingled, and her anger solidified into something dangerous and unstoppable. "You now have the power to command the creatures of the earth," the witch said. "Use them wisely." Shaka returned to Aro. No longer the broken woman who had left. She was something far more dangerous. The villagers went about their lives, unaware of the storm that was about to descend upon them. One morning, as Aber worked in the fields, a venomous snake slithered from the shadows. Before he could react, the snake struck, its poison spreading through his body. As he lay dying, Aber realized the snake had been sent by Shaka. In the village of Aro, nestled deep within the forests, there was once a woman named Shaka. She had been admired for her beauty and grace, a woman who stood tall among the villagers. But her life took a tragic turn when a man she loved, a man named Aber, betrayed her. Not only did he cast her aside, but he also scarred her face, leaving her disfigured and heartbroken. The villagers, once charmed by her beauty, now mocked her. They whispered behind her back, their cruel words cutting deeper than the scars on her face. Shaka was left alone, humiliated, and filled with a deep sense of betrayal. She wandered the forests, her heart darkening with every step, until one night she encountered a mysterious old woman who lived in a hidden hut. The old woman was no ordinary villager. She was a powerful witch, feared by all who knew of her. Sensing Shaka's pain and desire for revenge, the witch offered her a deal: dark powers in exchange for her soul. Shaka, consumed by her anger and the need to make the village pay, accepted without hesitation. As the old woman performed the ritual, Shaka felt the power surge through her veins. Her scars no longer ached. Instead, she felt invincible. With newfound magic, Shaka was ready to unleash her vengeance on the people who had wronged her. The night her revenge began, the winds howled through Aro, carrying a sense of dread. Shaka stood at the edge of the village, her eyes glowing with an eerie light as she called forth the shadows. One by one, newborn children began to disappear from their cradles, stolen by the dark magic she now commanded. Each morning, mothers would wake to find their arms empty, their hearts shattered. Panic spread through the village like wildfire. The villagers tried everything to protect their children, locking their doors, staying up through the night, even praying to their gods. But nothing could stop the curse that Shaka had set in motion. No one suspected that the very woman they had scorned was behind the terror. But as the curse took its toll, something unexpected began to happen. Despite the hideous scars on her face, the men of the village started to feel an unnatural attraction to Shaka. It was as though her dark magic had woven its way into their hearts, pulling them toward her. They couldn't resist. Day by day, they found themselves wandering to the edge of the village, where Shaka lived, unable to explain the pull they felt.